Do you hate the thought of working past 55 or 60? Do you hate not being able to live the life you deserve today? Do you hate not knowing what your financial future looks like? It's time to stop doing what you hate. Here's your host, Mr. Harold Green.
Hello, everyone. This is Harold Green of Bright Tree Wealth Management, and it is time to stop doing what you hate. Hopefully, you are having a fantastic day. I'm doing pretty good. Really excited to be sharing today's show with you folks. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and something that's going to be applying to myself as well. And as I do this show, I'm thinking that we're heading, by the time you get this show, it'll probably be sometime in November, heading towards the end of the year. And it's a time where people, they get super busy. They get busy with family, busy with thinking about Christmas shopping and all of these things. And one of the things I tell you is just that I think this is the time that people, they lose focus. They just lose sight of things, and they forget that it's time to be thankful. It's time just to kind of enjoy life. And one of the things that I've always done, and I'm going to share this with you, is towards the end of the year, I always look back and reflect on my year. How has it gone? And have I taken the necessary steps in order to get to the next level? And I'm hitting you with this show because I want you to think about this when you have a minute or two going in towards the end of the year, heading into the new year. And I think this is really going to help you set the tone for the next 5-10 years of your life. And the title of today's show is Bold and Aggressive Moves Part 3. I've done a Part 1, I've done a Part 2, and I'm going to wrap this up with a Part 3. And what I'll encourage you to do is just go listen to 1, 2, and 3 back to back. And I tell you, it's going to be powerful. So, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, let's get it. The first question I have for you is this. When we're talking about bold and aggressive moves, you kind of think of that person that's like, wow, that was bold of them. Wow. They're very aggressive. And I had a client tell me one time, and she said, Harold, you're super aggressive. You're always trying to get to the next level. And she said, that's what I like about you. And I said, it's not only I'm trying to get to the next level, but I'm trying to bring you with me. I want you on my bus going where I'm going, because I believe I'm headed to a pretty cool place. And I've achieved a lot of things, but yet there's still a lot more that has to take place. And I'm going to hit you with this question, and it goes like this. What's stopping you from achieving your wildest dreams when it comes to your portfolios, and when it comes to investing, and when it comes to your financial plan? And because this is an investment show, I have to put out the disclosure that all investments do carry risk of loss. Past performance is no indicator of future results. When investing, you must invest according to a well-balanced, comprehensive financial plan that takes into consideration your dreams and your goals and hopefully some of the wants, but it also looks at your risk tolerance and your time horizons and your propensity and ability to handle and take on risk. And if you're going to invest, make sure you talk to somebody, get some advice, stay off the Reddit threads if you possibly can, stay off the YouTube stuff if you possibly can, talk to some professionals first, then you can go do your research, and then you can just get after it. But these are all some questions, and it's going to be a lot of questions that we're going to ask. And you're going to have to fill in the blanks if you want to get to the next level in this thing. Because I tell you, a lot of people are either underinvested or not properly invested at all. And I'm going to kind of layer in some stories that I just heard in the last week. And I just kind of just shake my head. What's stopping you from achieving your wildest dreams when it comes to investing? Number one, is it your past experiences? What happened to you in the past? I heard this man, I was sitting somewhere, and look, I've had this conversation with many people. So if you're listening to my show and you think I'm talking about you, maybe I am. Maybe I'm talking about your neighbor. Maybe I'm talking about your cousin, your uncle, maybe your mom, your dad. This is a very common conversation. And it goes like this. Well, back in Y2K, we had some money invested and we lost it all. Or in 2008, when the housing market crashed, we had some money invested and we lost half of it. And I'm like, excuse me, but how the hell you lose half of it? What happened? Well, we sold it. Like, Why did you do that? Well, because we were scared. Why were you scared? What made you think that what you were holding was never, ever going to come back? Like, why were you impatient? What happened? Who were you working with? What did your advisor say about that? Is that stopping you? Are you shell shocked because of past experiences? Number two, common investment knowledge. Is that holding you back? Is that stopping you? You might say, like, Harold, I don't know enough about investing. I don't know enough about the market. I don't know enough about ABC. Is that stopping you and holding you back? Is it a lack of financial resources? Harold, if I just had more money, if I just had more money, I right now I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And, if I just had a couple more $100 every month I could give you, is that stopping you? Or is it a feeling of laziness or procrastination? Is it just like, I'll get around to it someday, like, I'll get to it. Like, I'm still young, or, I have time, and I'm getting a bonus next year. And so I'll hit you up when I get that bonus, Harold. I'll do that then. Is it fear of making a mistake? Like, Harold, if I do this, I've seen a lot of people mess up when investing in the stock market. And my question is what makes you think that you're like a lot of people? What if you're different? What if you do it this time and you have fantastic results because you're working with the right people, and the people that you're talking to, they're not working with the right people? What's up with that? Fear of making a mistake. Is that you? Do you not have any clear examples of success? Do you not talk to anybody who's been successful investing in the market? Are all your friends and family members bad investment people? Like, do they just make the wrong choices all the time, or are they too conservative? Do you talk to the people that said, hey, I took, I'd started with this much and I layered in, and I did this and I worked with this person, and now I got like 10 million bucks because we made the right moves, bold and aggressive moves at the right time. Do you know who those people are? I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them as clients, and they're out there telling everybody that'll open their ear and listen. Clear examples of success. Well, I'm not like them. They're riskier than I am. I hear this all the time. Do you make foolish decisions? Is that what's stopping you? Yeah, Harold, when the market went down in such and such time, when this guy got elected, I felt like he was going to tear everything apart. So I just was like, I just sold everything. I just like, hey, the guy's going to ruin the countries, this and that. Are you making those kind of foolish decisions in your portfolio? Because this ain't about who's running the country. This is about you running your life and operating the car to your destiny. Who cares who's in the White House? I'm tired of hearing it. I'm sick of it. If that's what you're doing, then I'm going to say that's foolish. And I don't want to work with it because I don't want to work with foolish people. I just don't. Okay. You can have your opinions, but I'm not going to put my opinions on you. And I don't want you putting your opinions on me, because that is going to ruin our theme. It's going to ruin our chances of success. We got to put that stuff on the side. Lack of time. Oh, Harold, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I just don't. I'm busy all the time. I barely have time to myself. And when I was homeless, somebody took me to a seminar, and it was about like how to get more done in less time, stopping procrastination, this and that. Like, he used to be the one of the chaplains for the Chicago Bears years ago, and he just kind of laid it out to us, right? Here's a guy who's talking to NFL players, Walter Payton. I mean, stuff like this is what we're dealing with here. All right. So I'm listening, I'm taking crap ton of notes, and I'm sitting here like, man, I only got $1 in my pocket. That's all I got. And I'm sitting here homeless. If it wasn't for my friend let me sleep on his sofa, man, with my wife that was pregnant, 8 months pregnant, with my son that was 4 years old at the time, if it wasn't for him, man, I would have been in the street or sleeping in the car. And we almost had to do that. But anyway, I'll share more about that later. Is it your upbringing that's stopping you? Is it what your parents told you about investing? Is it because of the mistakes that they made? Association friends, like, is it your friends that are holding you back and stopping you? Are you moving in a herd, or like, are you joined at the hip with somebody that like is always trying to tell you what to do, always controlling your life, pulling the strings because you're codependent? Do you have some of that stuff going on? Is it your family? I'll hit that up again. Are they holding you back? Like, Harold, I got to help my family too much. Like, my family's poor. They need money. So I can't invest because I'm always helping them. We'll get into that someday, but not right now. Lack of discipline or self control. Can you not stop spending? Do you spend too much? Can you not save? Is that what's stopping you from achieving your goals and your destiny? Is it like past trauma? Is it something that happened to you a long time ago that it's just stopping you in all phases of your life? Is it a lack of determination? Do you just not have like motivation? Are you not motivated to achieve financial success in your portfolios and in your financial plan? Are you comfortable where you are? Harold, I'm okay. I mean, my job is not bad, but it could be better, but I can deal with it. And that's tough because you got to understand retirement and financial success is a moving target. You might be comfortable where you are today, but then you get called in the office and now you got to take a pay cut because the company is this and that and the other. Either take a pay cut or you get fired because the company they're downsizing, and it just blindsides you. And this is where a lot of people are, and this is where a lot of people are going to be. And if you're sitting there saying, well, I'm comfortable where I'm at, you're just one situation away from being very uncomfortable. And you have to kind of look and plan that stuff out. As I just said, financial success is a moving target. You will often find times it's like this. You're going to find out that what you thought it takes is severely insufficient to pull this off. Like, oh man, I'm on this diet and I'm making a little bit of progress, and then you just find out like, whoa, you got to cut more carbs, you got to do more of this, you got to work more overtime. You're like, well, I thought I'm giving it everything I got. Well, sometimes when you give it everything you got to go find more. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes when you think you are giving it everything you got, that ain't enough. You got to go find more. And how I find more is I'd lean into the Lord. I'm a Christian and I have to lean into the Lord and I have to rely on his strength because I can't look, I'm a human. I'm frail. I think I can lift in the gym and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it comes to things that I can't control, I'm frail. And I just got to lean into him, lean on him, trust him to help me find the strength that I need. And what it is sometimes he'll say, hey, you got a little bit too much anxiety going on and that's draining you. Hey, you're doing a little bit too much for this client. You're spending a little bit too much on their stuff. Like that's draining you. It's causing you to lose strength. And that's why you don't have enough left because you're giving away some stuff here. You got a bucket with some holes in it. You'll also find that the pain will be a lot greater and sometimes last longer than you anticipated. And it goes back to April of 2025 when we had the tariff thing come about, and it was just bad. It was bad. And it just kind of seems like, man, Harold, this thing is going down. I'm losing money. I'm like, no, you're not losing anything because I'm not selling. Okay. Your portfolio is going down on paper, but I'm not materializing those losses. Hang in there. Well, it hurts. Of course it hurts because it hurts sometimes when things that are out of your control hit your portfolio, and you have to make sure that you can handle that level of risk. And it's like this. These things are going to happen, but the question is how fast can we get those paper losses back up in your portfolio? Okay. How fast? When a client calls me and says, Harold, I lost money, I tell them, you know what? You didn't lose anything. Stop telling me you lost money. Did I sell anything in your portfolio? No, I didn't sell anything. So you didn't lose anything. Stop saying that to me. Sometimes I get like offended. I got to calm myself down. And I know where they're coming from because that's the old investment talk. Man, I lost a lot of money last month. No, you did not. Did I sell anything? No. We still have the same amount of options. We still have the same amount of stock. As a matter of fact, I keep adding to it because we had a lot of cash. Same thing when you say I made a lot of money last month. You didn't make anything yet because I didn't materialize it. Okay, let's just get this straight. But you got to endure the pain, right? Sometimes it lasts a little bit longer. And the thing you got to tell yourself is, I don't need all this money right now anyway. You got like $4 million in your portfolio, and we lose like say a third because some crazy event happens, it pops off, and then you're down, 25% in 2 weeks. Like, Harold, aren't you going to do something about this? Yeah, I'm going to buy more. So let's buckle up, because we got to understand if it's one of those things where there's a downdraft because of some stupid event and people are just being emotional, the CNN fear and greed index is down to a 3. I'm not selling your portfolio over that because I know people are just panicking. They're panicking. And that's why they will never be able to sufficiently retire with enough to last them their entire lives because they make panicking mistakes at the wrong time. You have to learn how to front load your success. And sometimes you got to take all the pain up front so that you can live a life of luxury for a long time at the back half of this thing. And the thing is it's not all on you anyway. If you're on my team, you're on my bus, I'm helping you with this, I'm coaching you, we're working through it. And this is going to require you to give up on traditional ways of thinking. There has been no successful investor that did it the traditional way. Every single successful billionaire, hedge fund manager, any successful investment fund manager, a lot of them have done some very non-traditional things. And of course, you got to play within the rules. I'm not talking about cheating. And the other thing I want to talk about is in the financial advising world, it's kind of like, it's like in the medical world where they say standard of care. Like if you have this problem, they're going to recommend this particular thing because that's the normal standard of care. And sometimes I'll tell you in the investment world, sometimes you got to ignore the standard of care that they're telling you, like a Harold, 60-40 portfolio, 60% in stocks and 40% bonds, and don't do options because options are way too risky for me. I can't handle options and da 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 da. It's like, okay, let's look at this. Can you afford a 60-40 portfolio? If you can afford a 60-40 portfolio and it's going to meet all your needs and retirement plans and your goals, I'm okay with that. But if you tell me you want something 60-40 and you're telling me what all these goals are, and I'm showing you on paper that your 60-40 is not going to work, that standard of care won't work for you. We got to do something different. And I'm not afraid to tell a client something different because, oh, Harold, you might lose your investment license. Like in the medical field, if you don't say the standard of care and it's not in the notes and you go before the MRB medical review board and you look at the file and somebody turns you in and somebody's like ratting you out and patient comes in and they don't want this treatment, they want to do something different, you always got to push the standard of care. It always has to show up in the notes. And if it doesn't, you can be rung up. And nobody wants to lose their medical license because some patient wants to come in and try some kind of alternative therapy and this and that and the other. And they don't want to deal with that. Now, some doctors will, but a lot of them won't because they spent too much time and energy getting their medical license and it's going to hurt them. But at the same time, you have to think about yourself too. If I'm sitting here recommending something to you in your portfolio and it's not keeping pace with what your needs are, then you may have to find another advisor. And I've seen that a lot. I've had a lot of people come to me because their advisors are just giving them the standard of care that's not helping at all. When I see your portfolio full of mutual funds and ETFs and like some bonds, I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna work. We got to do something different. We got to switch it up. And here's some things, the emotional things I'm going to kind of get into that if you want to make some bold and aggressive moves, sometimes you gotta isolate yourself and until you settle into your success. It's like kind of going into ICU where you got very limited people coming in the room, you're in critical condition, and sometimes you got to isolate yourself when it comes to friends and family. You just got to get off to yourself and say, hey, you know what? I got to really get to where I'm going. I got to make this move. I got to make this move. Maybe you got to move to a city where you don't know anybody, right? You're in this job, you're making 100, but you want to make 2, and you have the ability to make 2. You've been killing it for this company. They won't pay you what you're worth. And then instead of living in New York, you got to move to Cincinnati, right? You got to move to Cincinnati. You're like, Cincinnati, I don't want to go to Cincinnati. Like, I hear this stuff all the time, like what people don't want to do. And it's like, okay, so you're comfortable where you are. You can't make bold and aggressive moves when you're comfortable where you are. So the thing I'm talking about here, isolating yourself, because I had to get rid of some, I wouldn't say get rid of, I would just say I had to let some relationships go because those relationships were constantly interrupting my success process, right? Trying to become successful is a process. And when you have constant interruptions to your process of, trying to be successful, you gotta cut those things out. It's like on the weekend, everybody's, let's go out and party. you know that you got to level up and you got to study a particular thing for work. And the sooner you get it done, the more promotions you'll get. But you're like, yeah, I'll do it later. And you go out to the club or you go do whatever, right? Constantly. So the question is this: what bold and aggressive moves are waiting you? What are some of the things that you know you got to do when it comes to changing up your cash flow, maybe refinance the house? Is it using your life insurance policy to get started? Is it you got like $50,000 in your life insurance policy and very little investments, and you really want to get this thing moving forward? Do you have to use your life insurance to get started? Does it mean taking annuity distributions early and using it using a 72T periodic distribution of a sum of money over a period of time? Basically, you take it out before you're 59 and a half. And if you take the same amount out, it's either 5 years or 59 and a half, whichever comes later. So if you're 50, you got to take it out to 59 and a half. And then it's just, it's an equal amount. And you take that and invest that. Of course, you got to pay the taxes on it, but there's no penalty. Does it mean selling a rental property that's never going to break even, but it's constantly a money drain? There's some people that are just so hung up on owning real estate. It blows my mind. Some of these material possessions, they're costing you way more than they're worth, but it helps you to sleep at night because in your mind, you're like, well, if anything goes wrong, I can just sell one of them. If anything goes wrong on any money, I can just sell one of them. What if you can't sell one of them? What if we're in a bad situation where the market is depressed and nobody can afford a house, or I can't say nobody, but it's just going to take a long time to unload it and it's draining you? Like I said, does it mean switching jobs? Does it mean reducing 401k contributions and investing outside? Does it mean taking the tax hit now in order to live the life you want? And some people, young people anyway, I tell them, I said, okay, if you have the option to do Roth in your 401k, that's great. But if you look at your 401k and it's just a bunch of mutual funds in there, people always say, don't give up the free money. Don't give up the free money. But you don't understand what free money is costing you. Nothing is free. There are hidden opportunity costs in investing in your 401k at a young age, right? You're not making a lot of money anyway. You're piling into your 401k when you should be taking the tax hit and then building money outside, either in a Roth IRA or a regular brokerage account. Yeah, but I'm giving up the free money. Okay, well, let's say in your 401k, you put it in there, it saves you $5,000 in taxes, okay? And you put $10,000 in your 401k, and this is just a hypothetical, and you save basically $5,000 in your taxes, but $10,000 went in the 401k, and the $10,000 went in the 401k, and it made 5%. All right, it made 5%. Well, inflation is already 3 and 4, sometimes 5 and 6, depending on where you live. You have the opportunity to say buy Tesla or Apple, and the $10,000 went up 30%, right? What is that? That's $3,000. You had to pay the tax hit. You put the money over there in the portfolio. You made it $3,000. If you're trading options, it could be 100%. That could be 20,000. But in your 401k, what do you have? You have 5%. 5%. 10% is 1,000. 5% is $500. $500. And this is why I tell young people in the beginning, if you're not making more than $100,000 or 150, look, start putting money outside and invest very little in your 401k, especially if there's just mutual funds in there and that's all you have. Don't worry about the free money. We can calculate that out. And if you find that, hey, Harold, your portfolio is not performing, I'm not getting the return that you said I'm supposed to get by not putting in my 401k, I might as well be in my 401k and save taxes. Well, by all means, go back and do that. But what I'm saying is I haven't found that to be true historically. But as we head into the holiday season and head in towards the new year, think about what kind of bold and aggressive moves are awaiting you. What are you going to need to do? And then I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to weave those moves into your life. Cold turkey sometimes just not work. It's too hard on the friends. It's too hard on the family. It's too hard, on the girlfriend or the boyfriend that wants to hang out all the time. And, they're not really doing stuff with their life. And it's like, you're going to have to start to weave these changes into your life. It's like changing your diet. You're going to have to start to add healthy things in there. Get used to eating berries and fruit and nuts, and start slow and then build yourself up. Build up your tolerance. Build up your muscles in order to make bigger and bolder, aggressive moves. So I wanted to share this show with you guys today. I'd love to hear what kind of bold and aggressive moves you guys are making. Hit me up on the website, schedule a time to talk, see where you're at, see if there's anything we can do to improve your situation and take your game to a whole new level. So thanks for allowing me to share today's show with you folks. And until next time, everybody, 1, 2, 3, let's get it.
This is the podcastfactory.com.